What's going on, everyone? TJ Fitness News Reviews, and together with me, Apollon Nutrition, over the top intra workout. But listen, people, this is not your grandma's intra workout. Listen, people, I'm gonna take you through the label of this thing. This shit is long, so I'm gonna try and be very quick and succinct about it. And then, people, I'm actually gonna share with you my personal experience using this one over the last couple of days. And then, towards the end of the video, as usual on this channel, I'm gonna give you my final verdict. Who is this one for? Should you still actually give a shit by then? And all I'm gonna ask in return, by the way, all I'm gonna ask in return is that you hit that like button. Apollon Nutrition, it's been like 5 minutes since they released a new product, so I guess Robic from Apollon Nutrition became a bit edgy and said, fuck it, I'm gonna release a full spectrum intra workout. So this is the latest addition to the Apollon Nutrition line. Obviously, this line is getting really big. Now, this is an intra workout, full spectrum intra workout. Apollon Nutrition has another intra workout, which is sort of your average Joe intra workout, Enigma, which is a product I really liked. I'm going to link to that review below. Generally speaking, I'm going to link to all of the Apollon Nutrition reviews that I've done here on the channel below. There's so many of them right now. Anyway, so this over-the-top intra workout, I'm going to take you through the label of this thing. Now, listen, people, this is a big-ass, long-ass, Bible-length label. So this is really a long label, but I'm going to take you through it and I'm going to try and be very succinct and quick, because otherwise it's going to take us 10 minutes just to go over the label, and this is not going to help you, because labels are just fucking labels. It's all about what you feel. So let me take you through this thing. So first things first, 20 servings and 40 servings. And you know, usually when I see 20 servings and 40 servings, you're like 1 scoop, 2 scoop. Definitely in pre-workout, say, fuck you, we're going 2 scoops. This thing, actually, I'm going to take you through this. You're going to see this is such a loaded formula. 1 scoop of this thing, man, it's clinical dose for literally everything anyway. So double scoops, 2 scoops, which is 20 servings, is gonna be twice the clinical dose for almost anything here. So 1 scoop, I would say this is a 1 scooper to a large extent. This is a 1 scooper. So let me take you through this thing, guys. So on 1 scoop of this beast, and you can double it in your head if you need to, then you get calories 80 and 2 scoops is 160. So as right off the gate, most intra workouts that you would take, run-of-the-mill intra workouts, there's 0 calories. This is not one of these things, right? This is where it's supposed to take the calories actually to help you with going for longer times and with recovery. So anyway, so it starts with a bunch of stuff around the hydration, which I'm actually going to touch on in a second. But there's a carbohydrate double punch matrix, which is 20 grams of carbohydrates. And really, this is where, you know, these full spectrum intra workouts, these loaded intra workouts come in with very high end and specifically engineered carbohydrates to help you with, you know, to help you to go for a longer time in the gym, to help you go get that ATP production, to help you with pumps and a bunch of other stuff. So there's 2 of them here. There's the cluster dextrin, which is very common in this full spectrum intra workout. You have 15 grams, which is a great dose of this thing. Think about it as a carb. You know, you want to take carb because you want to feel stronger, but you don't want to spike insulin. So cluster dextrin is one of these ingredients that is going to help you. It's going to give you all the benefits of taking carbs. You know, you have the energy, you can go for a longer time, pumps, by the way, but it's not going to spike insulin. The second ingredient here is D-ribose at 5 grams for 1 scoop. And this is really, when I read this, I said, okay, dude, this is a 1 scooper, because D-ribose at 5 grams is really where you would find D-ribose at all the other full spectrum intra workouts. You don't need 2 scoops of this thing. 5 grams of D-ribose is a great amount. It's a lot. It's a super expensive ingredient. It's not really think about this more as a carbohydrate metabolite, because it's actually what it's going to do. It's going to help you maintain your ATP production over a longer period of time. Your body generates D-ribose. It doesn't consume D-ribose, right? So, and the addition of D-ribose is going to help you produce more energy for a longer period of time. So this combination of D-ribose and cyclic dextrin is one of these staples, I want to say, in these full spectrum pre-workouts. That's the thing. You go to the Chemix intra workout, you're going to see it there also. At these amounts, I think, actually, by the way. There they also have dextrose, which is like the fast-acting sugar, basically, just sugar, the cheapest form of carbohydrate, which is arguably, I would actually avoid that. So actually, I'm happy that Apollon Nutrition didn't put it here. Anyway, then they have a full blend EAA, right? So think about this, you know, when you go into your run-of-the-mill intra workout, you usually would get like an EAA spectrum, like 5 grams EAA, 7 grams EAA, plus hydration, right? Plus some stuff around ATP production and power output. Actually, on one scoop here, you're gonna have 7 grams of EAA, out of them 5 grams of the BCAAs, and on 2 scoops, you can do the math by yourselves. But let's say we do 1 scoop, because I think really this is a 1 scooper, people. 1 scooper. Then on strength and performance, right? What you're getting here is creatine monohydrate at 2.5 grams. So that's the only place where I would say the clinical dose is 5 grams, 2 scoops theoretically, right? But then on top of that, you have beta anhydrous at 1.25 and PICO2 at 1 gram. So all of these ingredients together are supposed to help you preserve and regenerate ATP, which is the energy in your muscles to go for a longer time. And not only that, it's going to help you with recovery. PICO2 is an trademarked ingredient. Actually, I think it's patented or trademarked. A bunch of mushroom that has shown in research to help you with ATP production and power output. Anyway, great formula for ATP production and energy. And then on top of that, but it doesn't stop here, you also have Elevate ATP at 150 milligrams and 300 milligrams for power output. And then on top of that, you have Synactive, which is a trademarked ingredient. At 50 milligram is the clinical dose, and this is where it's going to come and help you with cell regeneration and with recovery. So going for a longer time and recovery, patented ingredient, there's some research behind it, it's really interesting. If you want to, by the way, if you want to dive deeper into this stuff, like I said, I don't want this to take 20 minutes. You can Google this stuff, really interesting stuff. So this power output element, like if the rest of the stuff, it's actually interesting, like it's inactive, the clinical dose is 50 milligrams, right? So 2 scoops is 100 milligrams. Creatine, the clinical dose theoretically is 5 grams. You have 2.5 grams here. So the power output ingredient label here is where it's the 1 scoop, 2 scoops things. You could consider, hey, maybe I'll go 2 scoops if I can afford it, because we're going to talk about value for money in a second. Then you have like this massive, monstrous hydration and electrolyte matrix with coconut water powder, with calcium phosphate, potassium phosphate, sodium phosphate, and trimagnesium phosphate. A monster hydration here. And then you have the absorption. God bless them, 25 milligrams for absorption, because there's a lot to absorb in this shit. Anyway, I just took you through this really fast, but listen, people, this is really when Apollon Nutrition says here full spectrum. This is full spectrum, right? Like the combination of the carbohydrate matrix plus the EAA, full-blown EAA, plus the ATP production and energy production and cell regeneration, plus the full hydration element. Man, this is one loaded freaking formula. This is a loaded formula. Listen, people, let me take you through this thing for a second, through the experience, because at the end of the day, this is what you came here for. You want to understand why this is good for and how did it feel for me. So the flavor I have, I'm going to start with the flavor, guava strawberry. So with the flavor, listen, the flavor is okay. I don't want to say it's amazing, because it's not. It's okay. There's a bit of, when you take 2 scoops of this thing, because I did try this with 2 scoops, when you take 2 scoops of this thing, there's a bit of a bitter aftertaste. But it's not offensive, it's just a bitter aftertaste. I'm going to talk about that in a second. With 1 scoop, it's actually bitter. There's less of a bitter aftertaste, go figure. And you do need to mix this thing with a lot of water, because the scoop is heavy, right? What is the scoop here? The scoop, 1 scoop is 37 grams. So 2 scoops of this thing is like 75 grams. 75 freaking grams that you need to mix into that water jug of yours. So I would say it's an okay flavor with a bit of an bitter aftertaste. But fuck it, people. If you're buying this thing, as long as it's not disgusting, who cares? You're buying this thing for performance. So let's talk about this thing, people. Listen, people. So like I said, I only had the opportunity to use this 3 times, I think, because it was just, it's launching today, I think, and I just got to me like 3 days ago. Let me tell you this. You're definitely going to feel the difference if you're going hard, right? Like the carbs, the hydration, probably also the ATP production, even though I can't really attest to that because it's a bit hard to notice the difference in a 1 or 2 or 3 training. But you are going to feel that you can go for a longer period of time. There's a clear difference between using over the top and just your daily intra workout, like EAAs and hydration. You definitely feel a difference. You feel more pumps, you feel more food, you feel like you can go for a longer time, you have more energy. 100% you're going to feel it. Now, is this for everyone? People, listen, if you're not training super, super hard, if your workouts are like 30 minutes where you do some curls and shit like that, people, you don't need this. You don't deserve this thing. You just don't deserve it. You don't need it and you don't deserve it. And this is not going to be cheap. So I'm going to talk about pricing and saying you don't need it. But if you are taking yourself to the edge, if you are going for heavy leg days, you're going drop sets, you're totally ATP depleted at the end. Let me tell you this, people. This is the measurement for me, for you, if you deserve this shit. If you are depleted, you feel depleted, you feel depleted at the end of your workouts, or one of your workouts, maybe it's leg day, then this is for you. You deserve this. And if you can afford it, it's not going to be cheap. If you can afford it, go for it. You're going to feel the difference. If you're just an average Joe and at the end of your workouts, you're not depleted. You're just, I don't know what. You just want to go back home because there's something on TV. You want to watch something on Netflix, right? It's not that you're depleted. It's not that you're done. If you're done, then this is for you. If you're not done, this is not for you. And actually, I have to tell you that I sort of, when I took this at the first time and I had that bitter aftertaste, I was going like, I said, shit, man, I actually would love this to be amazing flavor because it's an intra workout. You actually sip through it through your workout. But actually, then I thought about it, I said, actually, I'm happy that there's a bit of a bitter aftertaste. It's almost like, dude, you're not supposed to fucking fully enjoy this shit. You're supposed to want to take it, to need to take it because of performance. So I'm actually glad in a very strange way that this flavor is not amazing. It's just okay with a bitter aftertaste, a bit of a bitter aftertaste. Because it's not offensive, but because you really need to want to take this. You need to deserve this. You need to be able to say, fuck it, this actually took me, I feel better. I will tell you this also. I did train. I did go all the way, and I felt like I can go longer. I also felt like my recovery was better. I had less DOMs, less sore muscles. Really like it. Listen, people, if you deserve this shit, I don't think that there's a formula. I mean, there's a couple of good formulas out there. This is way more loaded than the Chemix Intra workout, which I really liked. It doesn't get better than this for a full spectrum, and I do think that you should go with one scoop and see how you feel. You're gonna feel so good. You're not gonna need the 2 scoops. I took the 2 scoops. I felt a bit better, but it wasn't twice as good, right? So I think the 1 scoop is gonna be enough. Now, speaking of 1 scoop, so 1 scoop is 40 servings. 40 servings of this thing is gonna be, again, it's expensive. This shit is gonna be expensive. This is gonna land on the shelves, my guess, around the $70+, right? But $70 for 40 servings, 40 real servings, let's say it lands at around less than $2 per serve. Now, if you deserve it, then you deserve it. If you can afford it, you can afford it, right? But only if you are depleted at your end of your workout. And at $2 per serve, it's sort of comparable to the other alternatives out there that are either 20 servings, because it's like comparable to 1 scoop here, or they're one and a half scoops, and like the anabolic, usually you would take 1.5 to 2 scoops. It's about comparable. So yes, high end, all of this stuff is expensive. This is an expensive list of ingredients, but this is on 40 full servings, unless you're training like crazy every day, right? If you're training every day, 5 days a week, you're training like a maniac, then this will last you, a month, 2 months probably. If you're training like a maniac 2 times a week, you deserve this only 2 times a week, it's gonna last you for some time. So again, value for money depends on, do you deserve it or you don't? Listen, people, I hope that this was helpful for you people. I hope that this was helpful, and I gave you my honest, unfucking biased opinion. And I gave you my honest, unbiased fucking opinion. Honest, unbiased fucking opinion. If you deserve it, you deserve it. If you don't deserve it, you don't deserve it. Listen, people, as far as you can find it, I'm going to link below to the page on Fitness News, where we always have the latest deals and coupons from all over the web. I'm going to try and find you, and there's usually going to be a launch coupon I'm going to get for you with Apollon. You can go save money for the launch, be one of the first people to actually have it in their hands, and while supporting the channel. And then when this coupon expires, I'm going to link below to the page on Fitness News, where you can find the latest deals from all over the web. Listen, people, if this review was helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, because this is what we do here. We help you make smart decisions about the supplements that you buy.